So here it is, camera stabilization device. Essentially it's constructed out of a piece of aluminium bar with some weights at the bottom. There is a hole drilled in the front right there. It gives me the facility to add weights through the use of a bolt or whatever for when I'm using a different camera. There's a gimbal here which I will go into greater detail in a second, and then of course the top mounting bracket and the camera. The most important aspect of this is project number 2, is the gimbal, which is this section here. Now the gimbal, well, it's been around since antiquity. The same principle as what a ship's compass would use. In this instance I've got a universal joint from a remote control car. I've pressed it into some skateboard bearings, and then I've pressed them in turn into some plumbing component. The same happens at the top, which of course gives it this range of movement in many different directions, and the whole principle of a gimbal is that it allows movement in 2 axes with 1 point remaining stable. The camera's mounted. On top of that I've got some levels for an X and Y axes so that I can balance it accordingly. So here of course is the camera. It's mounted on this top section. Now I can undo these wing nuts and give it a quite major adjustment in this direction to balance it. I also have a hole drilled here so that I can add weights as necessary to the top, and of course to the bottom. You can see I've got quite a few weights added to the bottom. I use washers because the actual balancing is relatively tricky, and so adding or removing one washer at a time can make a world of difference. The handle, well, it's just from a roller bowler. It's a handle to hold on to, some plumbing supplies. There's a skateboard bearing mounted right here. Pressed into that is the universal joint from remote control car. There's another bearing inside of here. More plumbing supplies connected to the aluminium bar, which is this whole curved section. I actually curved that by bending it around the car tyre. Up the top I've got this weight here which counters the weight of the display unit for the camera. So the whole principle of the project is to develop a stabilization device for the camera so that I can take moving shots as smoothly as possible without you know, the use of expensive equipment essentially. So it's just a homemade device to economize the ability of getting some good video shots.
Standing by my window, breathing summer breeze, saw a figure floating neath the willow trees, asked us if we were happy. We said we didn't know. Took us by the hands and up we go. We followed the dream